There's a man in this story who did something that made absolutely no financial sense. He slid out from under a stranger's car, grease on his hands, tools scattered across a concrete floor, looked at a woman he had never met before in his life, and told her it was done. No charge. She tried to pay him. He wouldn't take it. What she didn't know, what she couldn't have known, is that the parts alone cost him $340, money he pulled straight from the account where his rent was sitting, 6 days before it was due. He didn't tell her that. He didn't tell anyone. A single mom with a 7-year-old in the back seat, a car that 3 other mechanics had already turned away, and a man who decided, quietly, with no audience and no guarantee, that it was his problem to solve. No contract, no social media post, no expectation of anything in return. Just a decision. Now here's the part that nobody saw coming. Not the woman, not his girlfriend, and definitely not him.
48 hours later, someone knocked on the door of his shop, and everything changed. Who was it? And why? Stay with me. Section 2. Victim Empathy. Backstory. Maya Reyes was 32 years old and running on a kind of tired that sleep doesn't fix. Single mom, 1 income, 1 daughter, Lily, 7 years old, gap-toothed, obsessed with frogs, in one 2009 Honda Civic with 140,000 miles that had started making a sound she couldn't afford to ignore anymore. That car wasn't just a car. It was the 6:45 a.m. daycare drop-off, the commute, the grocery run, the late-night pharmacy trip when Lily ran a fever. Without it, everything she'd carefully built, the schedule, the routine, the fragile system of a woman holding it all together alone, fell apart. 3 shops already told her no. 1 quoted $940. 1 said junk it. 1 never called back. She found Darnell through a neighborhood Facebook group. Someone wrote, "Honest, won't overcharge you, actually explains what's wrong."
Darnell Carter, 40 years old, 1-bay shop in a working-class neighborhood he'd been running for 6 years. Not wealthy, not struggling, just steady. When Maya walked in and told him everything, the sound, the 3 shops, Lily doing homework in the back seat, Darnell went quiet. He'd seen this before. Different woman, same exhausted eyes. His mother, 1998. He told Maya to leave the car. Section 3. The Sacrifice. That night, Darnell sat at his kitchen table and checked his account. $847. Rent due in 6 days, $780. Parts for Maya's car, $340 minimum. He stared at those numbers for a long moment, then he opened the supplier website and placed the order anyway. His girlfriend Tanya saw the AutoZone charge that night, asked about it. "Parts for a job," he said. "Paid job?" He was quiet for a second. "It'll work out." She knew him well enough not to push. She also knew him well enough to worry.
Saturday, he worked through lunch. Not dramatically. He just looked at the sandwich, looked at the car, and kept working. Small details like that don't make the news. They don't make anything. They just happen, quietly, in 1-bay shops that nobody photographs. When Maya came Sunday to pick up the car, she reached into her purse immediately. He put his hand up. "You're good." "Darnell, I can't just—" "Drive safe. Make sure Lily's buckled." She stood in that parking lot for a long time, hand over her mouth, shoulders down. Lily waved at him from the back seat. He waved back, went inside. He thought that was the end of the story. It wasn't. Section 4. The Reversal. Maya told the story the way people tell things that genuinely move them. Not as a post, not for attention, just in a break room on a Monday morning, coffee in hand, still thinking about a man who wouldn't take her money. Her coworker listened, told her manager.
Her manager mentioned it Tuesday afternoon to the regional director she supported, a man named Greg Halstead, who oversaw 4 Chevrolet dealerships across the metro and had, in a different life, worked a shop floor himself. Greg asked one question. What's the shop's name? He showed up Thursday. No appointment, no warning. Darnell was under a truck when he heard the door. He slid out, wiped his hands, assumed it was an estimate. Greg introduced himself, said he'd heard a story, asked if it was true. Darnell said yes, didn't elaborate. Greg told him the lead technician position at his flagship dealership had been open 4 months, 40 bays, full benefits, $72,000 a year, $5,000 signing bonus. Darnell sat down on a shop stool, didn't speak for a long moment. Then he asked one question. When does the signing bonus come through? Greg said end of week. Rent was due in 3 days.
6 months later, Darnell runs the service department. 40 bays, 12 technicians. A team that by every account actually trusts him. And in that environment, with that many moving parts and that much pressure, trust is not a small thing. It's everything. He still gets to work early, still explains things to customers in plain language, still doesn't overcharge. Some things don't change when your circumstances do. On his tool chest, next to his ratchet set and a photo of his uncle, there's a folded piece of notebook paper. Lily drew it. A car, a man with a wrench, a sun in the corner the way kids always draw suns, halfway off the page like it ran out of room. At the bottom, in purple crayon, thank you for fixing our car. Maya's Civic just turned 147,000 miles, still running. There's a version of this story where Darnell waits for the world to be fair before he decides to be decent. He didn't take that version.
He just acted like fairness was already the standard, and quietly, without any audience, held himself to it. The world noticed. It usually does, eventually. If someone in your life moves like that, no announcement, no expectation, just quietly doing right, drop their name below. This one's for them.